Today's doodle sketch that I am doing today is of a sight I saw on my travels of a very tired waitress, obviously shattered from a long summer season. Anyway, this is my idea, my memory of it. What I do is I go out. I don't take sketching stuff with me like a lot of people. I used to, can't do it now. I've only got one good hand and that's my walking stick. So I tend to rely on memory, get back and get it down, just rough idea of what I saw, so that at a later date I can adapt it. This is all about just getting a quick sketch down, not trying to create a finished image, just get the main part down. So I've seen this lady and she's looking absolutely shattered, and she's obviously having a rest outside the cafe where she works, and she's got a dishwasher washing bowl, and it is laid down in front of her. Now I draw her with her giving her tootsies a rest in the water of the bowl, but I don't know if she was doing that or not. That is me using a bit of creative license to my doodle. Now I have done videos like this before, and I find it so much easier to do a quick initial sketch and then redraw it at a later date. And as you can see in this sketch, I have also adopted a very cavalier attitude towards perspective at times, certainly in the first version of this drawing. Once it's got to be done for whatever I'm using it for, then I will pay attention and get it right. Now I'm adding the holiday makers that come here. I love the holiday makers that come to this part of the coast. They are so practical. Their whole attitude seems to be, I've paid my money, I'm going to have my bloody holiday and I'm going to enjoy it, whether it buckets down or not. I have seen people sitting in their vests outside cafes over the years in the pouring rain, just eating. Nothing will get in the way of their holiday. Now with this drawing, the main part that I'm trying to get in is the customers and how the layout was. I will worry about the rest at a later date, but just get the main actors in my scene. This drawing will be eventually a watercolor painting, so what I will do this doodle and then I will redraw it, place it into my light box and trace it onto watercolor paper, and then create the painting. This really actually is a good way of doing things, actually, trying to recall it, because it helps you with your observation skills. It helps you to remember and recall things. And to be honest, I'm not a bloody pack horse, and I have no intentions of humping pencils, markers, paint or anything else around with me. Bloody struggle enough as it is with one good hand. So now I am using a Tombow, is my latest acquisition in my never-ending attempt to find a ultimate marker to use for my cartoons. I often used to think, oh, I should try to get some marquettes and get them from abroad and get them shipped in. But I've often wondered, well, what if they turn up and half of them are dried out once they arrive and they've got all the hassle of sending them back. But since I got myself some colour Touch 5 markers, and they came from Hong Kong, and they were absolutely brilliant. I was obviously worried about how they would arrive, but they turned up and they've been perfect. And so I was so impressed with them that I went off and bought a bigger set of 60. I bought 30 the first time, and then I have now got a set of 60. So I've got a fair amount of colours, and I find it easier. I used to use watercolour pencils just to put a bit of colour on. What I like to do is, in my doodle, I like to have a bash at trying to get a bit of a palette down give me some ideas of the way I want it to go when I do the final painting. So the watercolour pencils are alright, but it's so much easier using the markers. I can't really use the markers that well, but who cares as long as I get my ideas down. So at the end of this video I will add a very rough coloured image that I did, just as I said, just to help me when I get round to the final. Why is it all holiday makers seem to favour the vest when they're on holiday? None of them seem to ever want. They just stop shaving. Dad stopped shaving, sticks his string vest on or his just normal singlet, and that is it. So as I've already said, don't worry about what the image looks like now. This is just how I get my ideas down so that I will remember them at a later date. It won't look like this at all once it is finally painted, or whatever it is I do with it. If you want to see more of my quick sketch doodles that I do, visit me on my blog, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yes, again, I've used Creative License. She hadn't had her feet in to be called, but I just added it that way for more, just to give it a bit of humour in the drawing. She probably wouldn't see the funny side of it. She looked absolutely bloody shattered. I don't know how these waitresses stay on their feet for so long. Anyway, thank you for watching, and as I said, I added a photo of the sort of palette I'll be aiming for at the end of this video. I think I've already said subscribe, like, visit my blog, G+ me on Google+, all the things. I keep threatening to write a list down so that I can read it out when I'm doing my audios, but often forget. Anyway, thank you for watching. You never know where I could end up drawing a scene from what I see, so beware those local to me. You could end up in one of my cartoons. Not so much stardom, more anger from your part, I think. Anyway, thank you. Goodbye.